You all, we are not licensed professionals. You know, we are just here on this roller coaster called life, trying to be better friends to one another, trying to be better human beings on this planet. If you're tuning in, we are not opting out of therapy. We are not advocating that you listen to us and not see someone who is licensed and trained to help you with day-to-day life on how to cope and deal. So we advocate for therapy a lot here. We believe that everyone has something to talk to somebody about. So, just like to make that disclaimer that we're just here giving our opinions and having discussions week by week. And we're hoping that, you know, maybe you can find something useful, or if at least find a little humor in this terrible, terrible rock we call the world.
In other words, if you listen to our advice and you get popped in the mouth, don't at us.
Yeah, don't at me because you may get popped in the mouth again.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the FUP. The FUP podcast, Friendship University podcast. It's been a little bit. I had to think about our acronym because I was like, okay, is it TFUP or is it just FUP? I'm going to say it's just FUP. So welcome back to, but then again, there's a T in the name. So welcome back to TFUP.
FUP's fine. It's kind of close to if there were a FUPA, but...
Welcome back to the FUPA podcast. When we talk all about a bunch of great things like, you know, friendships and FUPAs. I'm Miki, and I'm joined by my favorite FUPA.
Wow!
You don't have a FUPA.
Like that. I got a FUPA. It's fine. It's fine.
What's a FUPA?
You know what they say about it's a little bit of fat up above your pelvic area. Your
Is that
your vagina.
Is that an acronym or something?
Yeah.
What's it stand for? If you don't tell me, I was going to look it up.
Fat above.
Fat upper public areas. Oh, okay. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It's not public, but yeah.
That's what it says right here based on this research that I just did or our mutual friend did.
It's fat upper something area.
Fat upper pussy area?
Something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, you learn something new every day. Is that like a new thing? Is that what the new kids are calling it?
No, people kind of rebranded the FUPA to mean all kinds of like anything fat on your body.
Oh, girl, I got a FUPA.
Specifically pertaining to women because people hate fat women. But yeah, that's what it used to be.
FUPAs are in.
FUPAs
Being big is the
in.
new sexy, honestly.
They said that girls without FUPAs ain't hitting. Like the men say, if you ain't got no FUPA, I know it's gonna be trash.
I mean, who wants a thigh gap? Like, who's trying? Okay, like who? Just gap, just two legs, just boop boop, and body on top.
Well, you know
Let me
what?
stop though.
You're
No body
right.
shaming here.
No body shaming.
We love all bodies. But yeah, we're back to the Friendship University podcast. I am Miki, joined by my salacious, co-host Kristen.
We are both exhausted.
I woke up so early on accident, like 4:00 in the morning. My body was like, "All right, let's like exist." And I'm like, "Why?"
Well, let's do it. I too have been waking up kind of early, but also I've had every meeting known to man ever over the last 3 days. So, not complaining, just trying to get things into, I don't know, order. How's your week been? How's your last 7 days been?
Is it 7 days? It has been 7 days.
Well,
honestly, pretty low key. Oh my god, time's an illusion again because I don't remember what I've done in the past 7 days. So I know we went to see Barbie, which was a good movie. I really enjoyed that. We saw it at the drive-in, which was pretty great. Always a good time to go see a movie.
It's a good drive-in movie.
It's a good drive-in movie. A lot of really good, impactful messaging for both men and women.
I am Knuff.
I am Knuff. That's truly what I need a shirt that says that. I am Knuff. Outside of that, I haven't really done a whole bunch, honestly. Just been heads down in capitalism, late stage capitalism, which I refer to as slavery, but like with bills and like you get paid for it, I guess, to an extent. So I'm tired. Looking forward to this weekend, going to 2 shows, going to see Fisher Price. That's not his name. His name is Fisher.
At first I was like, is that the show I'm going to?
Oh yeah, well we're both going. We're gonna go see Fisher. He's a house DJ, and music producer. And then I'm also gonna see. I'm probably gonna mess this man's name up. It's spelled WNDRLST. He's a
Like Wonderlust, but without the vowels.
pretty much. So I feel like it's Wonderlust, but I could be wrong. I never heard anybody say his name before, but he's like a hard techno DJ, and we'll be going there after that show.
You are really
living my young
life.
life.
I was about to say you're really living free out here because
I
2
took
shows back to back.
The day I took Friday and Monday off to recover.
Oh wow!
I was like, I need time. And then next weekend is the day we've all been waiting for. The day after that, my will to live will just cease to exist. Because there'll be nothing there'll be nothing for me to look forward to anymore.
You'll still be waiting for Justice for Thick.
And it's never coming. So Beyonce concert, of course, it's never coming. It's never gonna happen. But yeah, I'm okay. I'm just tired, honestly. I want to nap. I was napping right before this, so
Yeah,
here we are.
I had to interrupt that. I'm not sorry.
She won't let me take any days off. I mean, the fact
no
that
days.
the only reason I got like a month off was because she was out of town. Otherwise, she would be still having in my chokehold.
I be trying. That's not true. Sometimes I'm like, okay, it's been a long week. Yeah, I'll see you next week. But you know, we gotta keep with the ground. We gotta keep the people what they want. Consistency is about consistency. You have to be persistent and consistent in what we do because we want to be excellent. You know, we're the Friendship University. We're teaching these people how to be excellent. Excellent humans, excellent friends, excellent people.
The Friendship University Podcast Academy.
I don't think you can do university and academy.
Why not?
Because they mean 2 different things in education.
Donald Trump is going to jail. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want to do. Okay? It is what it is.
Mark my words, because I've been saying, I'm not saying he's going to jail. I'm just saying that people were like, oh, I don't know. I was like, he's going to get indicted. I'm not saying that I know things, but I'm just saying sometimes I be knowing.
Send that nigga to jail.
Lock him up. Throw away the key. I'm good too. It's been a long week. Gearing up for that show at the end of the week. And then I have to travel over next week. So it's going to be... My sister's birthday is Sunday, so she's doing something on Saturday. And it was kind of like I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't come, but you know I'm going to hold it against you if you don't come type of situation, even though I'm flying out Sunday. So I'm going to just do what I can with what I got.
What you got?
And that's about it. I really have been knee deep in work, like all kinds of work, capitalism work, freelance work, sleep work, all the work.
Ain't that the thing?
So I don't have a lot for y'all this week. It's
giving zero energy.
It's giving very.
We clocked in.
It's giving. We're here.
We're here.
You should be thankful that
we're here. We're warm bodies in the seat.
That we showed up. So without further ado, as you all know, you can anticipate episodes from us every Friday, Friendship Friday.
Ow.
We're gonna hop right into it. You know how we do. We like to get knee deep into people's business. And since last week, y'all got all up in our business with our friendship quiz, we're gonna get into y'all business with some Reddit questions. I was gonna say confessionals, but they're not really confessionals. One day we're gonna hop into the confession wagon, but y'all type too much. It's just too much. So we're gonna read off some Am I the Asshole questions, and just do our thing. You want to start? You want me to start, Mickey?
You can go ahead and start.
Okay. Let's see. I'll start with. Am I the a-hole for saying therapy won't help my friends wait?
Sorry, that's not funny.
/ chemical surround sound, whatever. Anyway.
Go on.
I was a depressed, chubby kid. I was until. So it does say 25-year-old male, was a depressed, chubby kid. I was until a friend at school and I started hanging out at the school gym when I was around 15. Now I work out 5 days a week, almost 3 hours a day, and do you have a job? And I consistently eat only one protein-filled meal a day with a protein drink a day. Okay, a day. We get it. It has greatly helped my physique, and now I'm happier and confident. A friend of mine, old one from school, we'll call them Tina, 23, has been dealing with depression since childhood because of her narcissistic mother, bullying during middle school, and she's never got medications or therapy because her mom didn't think she needed any. Only recently has she started going to therapy and is on antidepressants. Honestly, she has always been kind of fat, but now the antidepressants have made her look like a ball. How is she going to feel better when she's obese? ? Apparently she started taking walks every day and adding that up, but walking won't really do anything. I text her offering to go to the gym with her because therapy doesn't really help with weight issues. Wow, so your license. Or other issues. The gym actually releases chemicals to help make her feel better. You're also a clinical physician, I see. I told her that I want to help her improve herself and feel better. She told me that everything I said was unnecessary and that it's her journey, it's not mine. I'm just trying to help. Being fat and miserable won't do anything. Am I the a-hole?
I'm like slightly triggered, but I'll explain mine in a second. There's a few levels to this. One, off the jump, I'm gonna say your intentions are not asshole-ish, but the way you're going about it is, and the things you say are also very asshole-ish. So I'm gonna say 80% yes, you're an asshole. First off, and don't quote me on this, I am a charcoal teddy bear. I don't have any room to talk as far as like weight and stuff like that goes, but I know enough I used to work out a lot before I had like a shoulder injury. I know a good amount about fitness. I know a lot because of my friends who are being certified and blah, 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 whatever. So what I will say is, again, correct me if I'm wrong, gym bros out there, if you listen to these podcasts, probably not, because you probably don't have any friends. You're probably just lifting dumbbells.
Hashtag, if we hashtag someone, maybe they'll listen in.
Maybe. But anyway, so I would say working out 5 days a week, 3 hours a day is kind of like at the point of like diminishing returns. You really don't have to work out that often. In fact, I would say you're probably not doing much for yourself working out that often.
You're not even letting your muscles regenerate.
Like, you have to give it a break. It's like 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's a lot. And again, at that point, it's kind of like diminishing returns. But you say you have a great physique, but also at the same time, you say you eat one meal and one protein shake. That doesn't sound very, very, good. But again, who am I? Fuck nutrition and like metabolism and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who am I? I don't have a great physique. But you're super happy. But anyway, so outside of it, sounds like you're like slightly projecting the idea that you think therapy isn't going to help you because you found your therapy in dumbbells, which let me also say something he did say. It is correct. Working out, it does release chemicals in your brain, that endorphins, all that stuff. I mean, I've never had it. When I work out, I'm like, fucking kill me. I hate this.
Normally after
I'm like, wow, I want to die even more than I wanted to a couple minutes ago. Anyway, so he is right to an extent. A lot of stuff he's saying is somewhat correct. Like walking itself is not enough to lose weight, blah 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 blah. But again, the way you're going about it is asshole. Like, you're an asshole for going about it that way, and also the way you talk about your friend, like that just sounds like not a very supportive person. And I say I'm triggered because I have a friend like this. Growing up, he was very chubby. I mean, mind you, I also was like, I had phases where like I would get a little chubby, but it was never like, oh my gosh, like he's like a thick boy or whatever. Like, I was still slim for the most part, so I wasn't like really like pressed to like lose a bunch of weight or whatever growing up. But I did have a friend. He was a bit bigger. Discovered the gym, very similar. I think he just had a class with someone, got really fit, loves working out. And in our early 20s and so, like, he had the same mindset of, like, the gym is everything. If you work out, your life is going to be fixed. You're going to get all the girls. You're going to get all the guys. You're going to be rich. People are going to respect you. People are going to love you. People are going to adore you. Your life's going to be 10 times better, blah, blah, blah. And again, working out is essential, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's the recipe to, like, fix all your fucking problems.
Right.
So, and he also was, to an extent, very fat phobic, where, like, he would
wow.
get annoyed watching people do quote unquote unhealthy things. So, like, for example, he would get annoyed at someone going to, like, Chick-fil-A and getting, like, you know, French fries and, like, a fried chicken sandwich. He'd be like, oh, that's so disgusting. Like, why are they eating that? Like, you need to be eating clean. He would, like, make little jabs at me if I was, like, not eating something. If I got, like, some candy, he'd be like, oh, that's so full of sugar, dude. Like, you need to stop eating that shit or whatever. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, relax yourself. I can do what I want.
So you don't like puppies and sunshine,
right?
And
Stay in your lane,
and none of that either, huh?
So he had that notion, and I don't know where it comes from. Again, I didn't have that experience of going from, like, a larger person to, like, a really ripped person. I think it does come from a point of, like, it's kind of like they want to help, and it's because they did it. They think it's just easy for everybody else to do it. They're like, oh, well, I can do it. Anybody can. Why would you want to? Why would you want to feel the way I used to feel, like shit all the time, and, like, not that I whatever. One, big people don't automatically feel like shit about themselves. First and foremost, there's plenty of big people who are, one, healthy, probably healthier than you because they eat a fucking salad or something and, like, you know, get some good fucking sleep and eat enough. Your weight isn't always indicative of how healthy you are.
Right.
Again, not always. There are some situations where obviously your weight is pretty important. There's also plenty of big people who are very confident in their skin, very comfortable who they are, you know, don't really care about what people think. So, you know, projecting your insecurities on someone, no matter how much you care about them. And I do believe it's coming from a point of, like, to some extent, a point of caring about his friend. He's like, I know what that must feel like, or at least what he probably thinks she feels like, and I'm going to project my insecurities on you and make you think that, oh, it worked for me, it's going to work for you. Also, last point, therapy, yes, therapy is not going to help her lose weight in a sense of it's not going to make her burn calories. I mean, she will burn calories in therapy, technically speaking, because that's how your body fucking works. But it could motivate her or push her in the direction her mentality around, you know, working out. Maybe there's some, like, mental blocks there where she needs to work out, and then she'll get, I mean, clearly she's working on it. I mean, she's starting to go on walks, so something's working. So yeah, you're 80% the asshole. I would say you definitely kind of do a little bit of soul searching on that one, good sir. He's dumbbells are not going to fix your daddy issues. I'm sorry.
They're not gonna hug you at night.
They're not. Okay, I'm sorry your mom didn't hug you at night. I'm sorry that, you know, grandma just fed you pies so you would just shut the fuck up. Go to therapy. I'm sorry someone said you had pepperoni nipples when you were fucking 12. Like, it happens.
Kids can be very cruel.
Kids are fucking awful. So I get it, old boy, but that's not the way to go about supporting a friend.
It's not. I'm gonna hone in on that. It's more projection than anything. I feel like first of all, I feel like he has an addiction, because addictions, you can be addicted to working out.
Absolutely.
It's a feel good drug that's being admitted to your brain. It's the same when you get a high.
Exactly.
So I feel like there's borderline of an addiction happening there, which. It's cool. That's your business, bro. They say anything can be overdone is what they say. So just keeping that in mind with the whole thinking that everyone has to work out 5 days a week, 3 hours a day.
Okay.
And
who has time for that?
I mean, you know, maybe he's on this path to become a personal trainer. I don't know. And it's going to be his job. And so that makes sense that you would be in the gym that much, even though personal trainers I know don't work out that much. But I just feel like there is a bit of unresolved issues within him, and he's like, well, you can try to work out and it'll make you look better and quote unquote feel better, but you're completely negating the fact that she's on antidepressants because you said she has a narcissistic mother. So she's working through mother issues. So who said that her depression had anything to do with her weight?
Right.
Like, it's just like...
Abs or not, my mom's still a narcissist. Like, the fuck? Like...
And I just feel like you thought she was fat before you said that. And you're saying, like, she's a ball now because sometimes medications, they do fluctuate your weight. They mess with things like that. So I just feel I feel bad for the both of them, because it's just like, why are you talking to her like that? Like, why are you like being so aggressive? The whole like with your friend talking about, oh, that's so fatty, that's so nasty, oh, it's full of sugar. I get unhealthy habits. I'm the first to be like, hey man, y'all been eating kind of crazy. Let's maybe have a salad today, or let's do XYZ, or let's like drink some water or something. But I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. You're eating a Snickers bar, you're going to Chick-fil-A. Like, if you're gonna use tough love, you need to know when it is going to be received. One of my, and I say this a lot, the right word in the wrong time is just like the wrong word. So if you go to somebody and you're telling them the truth, but they're not ready to hear it, or it's just not the right time, they're going to perceive it like it's wrong. So you just need to like read the room. Maybe go on the walks with her. Work up from there. I know it's not, hitting the gym for 3 hours, okay, but
like, he ain't doing not a lick of cardio.
But maybe those walks are helping. Maybe those walks are introducing her to exercise. Maybe it's also helping clear her mind. Maybe she's like doing it for multiple reasons instead of just trying to lose weight. Because at the end of the day, your whole goal in exercise is to live a healthy life. I exercise, and yes, my exercise to diet ratio is not the best right now. I've gone from small to big, small, to fluctuating everywhere in between. So I understand the plight of working against genetics. First of all, that plays a factor. What's in your bloodline. Some people do have things that run that make them a little bit bigger than other people naturally. Not knowing underlying issues, you've got to get things like lipid tests and just get all these blood work things done to figure out, okay, if I'm not losing weight, then why is this happening? Why am I retaining weight here? So there's a lot of stuff, and it can be overwhelming for a majority of people. So my motto is like, if you want to live long, you have to get up and move your body. Like, science has proven that the older you get, the more attention you should be to strengthening your legs, because it starts in your legs. So if you can get up, if you can walk, if you can move, if your knee joints aren't popping and different things like that, it's linked that you will have longer longevity and longer life. So I go for my runs and I do things to strengthen my heart and stuff like that. But I also do enjoy working out. I do get the endorphins, I can say. During my workout, murder me. Absolutely. Push me right off the edge. But after the workout, I'm like, whoo, yeah, I did that. Like, I feel good. I'm awake. I'm feeling like, energized.
I'm like, I should never have done that.
So,
never do that again.
I think she was totally right in telling you that everything you said was unnecessary. And I think if you really care about her, if it is coming from a place of like, I really do just care about you, and I feel like this can help you, then you need to find the appropriate words to be able to express that to her, instead of telling her she looks like a ball.
Literally.
Like, you come to me, tell me I look like a sack of rocks, we're fighting.
Okay, and the sack of rocks gonna beat you.
Right, rock your shit is what's gonna actually happen. So, yeah, man, good luck to you and your one protein shake and protein filled meal.
Therapy for everybody.
Okay.
I know he blocked up. Ooh, no fiber.
He may be on them roids.
Anyway, on to another one. Am I the asshole for calling my friend ugly after she asked me to name her biggest weakness? I mean, we'll get into it. It was just a normal conversation, and my friend started asking me deeper questions just as a way to kind of pass the time and get to know each other a little bit more. One of the questions she asked was, what was her least desirable quality? She wanted to know her biggest weakness, and I honestly couldn't think of anything at the moment, but she kept pushing me to give her an answer. After a bit, I caved and I was honest. And before I told her the truth, I listed a lot of her positive qualities to kind of soften the blow. I then proceeded to tell her that she's not the most attractive person. And it
It's
And she was flabbergasted in silence as she stared at me. We haven't talked about it since, and I feel really bad, but I also don't want to lie to her and tell her that she's actually attractive because she's not. Am I the asshole? I'm gonna be honest, no. No. Okay, so like, could you have, okay. Here's where I sit on it. No, you're not the asshole, because I will always say honesty is the best policy. Because at the end of the day, you're being honest and you're being truthful to yourself and you're being truthful to your friend.
Honest with the fact that you're not this person's friend.
You can have ugly friends, but here's the thing. So like, if my friend asks me what their greatest weakness is, and I'm like, if they have fucked up teeth or something, like, I'm gonna tell them that, because like they're asking because they really want to know. They genuinely want to know, right? And who am I to be like, oh yeah, girl, for example, if he was like, yeah, girl, your biggest weakness is like your cooking or something like that. Now she out here thinking that she's still cute, but she just needs to work on cooking, and then she gonna learn how to cook a little bit better, and then she's still gonna have no man. And now what? Now you can cook. What's the problem?
She could cook.
And I'd rather tell her I'd rather be the one to tell her she's ugly than someone else random. But here's another thing. Don't ask questions don't ask questions that you don't want answers to. Because like he was like, I don't know, I really can't think of one. And she was like, no,
this
for
a man
real.
To a woman. A man told a woman that he didn't feel like she was the most attractive.
Did he specify his gender? He did not specify his gender, but he did tell the woman that she is ugly.
Okay.
Or he and or she told the person that they were ugly. The person did push for the answer. Again, honesty is the best policy in my opinion. And like, I mean, if it's true, it's true. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'm an asshole. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm the asshole here. Am I the asshole?
I just don't. Here's the thing. Honesty obviously is the best policy, but I think we correlate honesty to cruelty, and honesty doesn't have to be cruel. So it's like you don't have to. And I'm not saying that this person was obscenely cruel because they said you're not the most attractive. They didn't say like, oh my god, you like a dog or anything like that.
Okay, you look like a wet dog, bitch.
Right, but it's the fact that at first you tried to tell that person, oh, I can't think of anything, when this was on your mind to begin with, because they kept pressing. Because
he tried to hold it back.
They kept pressing because they knew you had something to say. And I'm hard pressed to feel like this is a man telling a woman this, but because
I don't know, men are pretty fucking wild. They have the audacity of 1,000 souls.
But I have seen women be like that to other women too. I'm gonna say this, and I don't really know the full psychology behind it, but I feel like anyone who, I don't know, I'm just really trying my best to imagine a scenario where someone who's truly friends with someone would consider them unattractive. I'm really just trying in my mind to be like, you really believe this is your best friend and you revere them and you trust them and you trust them, but you think they're ugly. Like it's not adding up. 2 + 2 is just not making sense to me.
I mean,
so I'm just like, I don't know if that's really your friend or not. Because
are you saying you don't hang out with ugly people?
I'm saying I don't think any of my friends are unattractive. And that's not, my standards aren't the same as all the other people, the billions of people in the world. So there could be people out there that wholeheartedly think, there are people who think I'm unattractive. So it could wholeheartedly be people who think my friends are unattractive. But I don't think I have a single person in my life that I hang out with that's unattractive.
That's so wholesome. No. I have ugly friends. And that's no shade to them. Like, I'm also an ugly friend.
And you're not, though.
So, like,
you say that with nice skin, good teeth. A baby face, like you can't. I don't think, and
it's not even me. It's like
it's two sides to the coin too, right? Because I
there's
heard
levels
somebody,
of ugly.
I was about to say I heard somebody say that attractive people don't hang out with. I don't know. It's like so many layers. It's just.
It's also like it depends what kind of ugly we're talking. Like physically unattractive or like spiritually unattractive.
You're there. You're not that. Could it be the teeth? You're not the most attractive. Okay. Do they have like some skin issues going
attractive?
On?
Right.
Is the teeth kind of jacked up? Are they cross-eyed? Are they missing an eyebrow? The hairline receding? Like. What do you mean not very attractive? Because yes, you're right. If I did have a friend, because I have had friends ask me about stuff, whether they brought it up or not, and like, oh, not in that sense. I just think that's weird. But like, I'm trying to work on myself physically. Like, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, oh, well, I'm working on this. I feel like maybe you could work on this or whatever. You know, I've had friends who have admitted like, oh, I want my teeth done, or I want to get my body done, or I want to get XYZ done. And I'm like, go for it. Like, whatever makes you happy. If it's confidence for me. I have seen cross-eyed, crooked teeth women out here with some fine men.
Meanwhile,
and they
DMs dry.
Okay, so...
I mean, listen.
I'm just saying.
You can be medium. There's also there's levels. There's medium ugly. There's medium rare ugly. Medium well ugly. So there's different levels to it. Again, I'm not gonna say you're the asshole because based on what I read, it sounds like you tried your hardest, but you tried to an extent. You tried to avoid it. I don't know. Maybe there was like one extra push, and they're like, "Oh, you're ugly."
Yeah. Okay. All right,
girl, because you wanted to know. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think you're the a-hole for sure. I do think you were trying to like be gracious and you wanted to be honest. They pushed. I'm a firm believer as well. Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to.
Truly, like if you want to have some peace, or if you just want to be like blissfully ignorant, don't ask questions because if you get an answer you don't like, you're gonna be annoyed.
It's giving for me. If this is girl on girl, it's giving when you used to be in like college or school or whatever or younger, and you had the group of pretty girls who would always have the lesser hang out with a couple of lesser attractive girls, or maybe they weren't excessively beautiful. Maybe they were just like mid, and so they would hang out with a little less attractive than them, so they knew they would get the attention when they went out per se, but they would still click. Women relationships, girl relationships. We got some work to do. Everybody got work to do, but women, the way we relate to one another sometimes is just questionable. It's really heart-wrenching and saddening because we should be building one another up, not tearing each other down. So
that's just humans.
Yeah. That's woo, I didn't know where that was gonna go with you. Sorry.
That's not even the worst one.
I don't know, because you told me you had one about some,
We'll get there.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for telling my friend she has what she has because of privilege? I, 27 female, have a degree in communications and work in an office as a decorator/event coordinator. I went to dinner with my friend, 26 female, who just finished her master's degree in electrical engineering and got a job offer at a popular high-tech company. She received this job through connections and she makes a lot of money. I don't know the exact value, but she's able to invest and travel internationally. She could be making terrible financial decisions. You cannot.
Okay, like credit cards to the max.
Okay. Her parents pay for all her schooling, so she has no student loan debt. I don't have any debt either, as I received free education. At dinner, I told her I wanted to go on a trip, and I invited her, but she declined. I kept asking why, and she finally admitted that it was because I party too much and I'm irresponsible. She doesn't want to babysit me on the trip. She says she doesn't want to risk her career because of a messy situation, which I took great offense to because her career is no better than mine. Okay. I like to have fun, and I made a lot of friends in college by partying and going out. But college was like 17 years ago. This disagreement turned messy, and I told her the reason why she has what she has is because she came from privilege. She got upset by this and then told me that she worked hard and studied all the time doing research and internships while I wasted my time in college partying and drinking. I am so upset because my friend has no grip on life. She has no real life skills because all she can do is useless math. You're a hater. While her parents handed her everything in life, I had to work hard, and I still have to work hard for the money I have. She is adamant on not traveling with me, and I'm upset because of this and what she said to me. So am I the hell for calling her out for being ignorant and coming from privilege?
Ooh, yeah, you're an asshole. I'm not gonna hold you. Few levels to that. No, yeah, girl, you're full blown the asshole. Because what is her cards dealt in life got to do with the price of your fucking actions on vacation or otherwise?
Because this girl didn't want to go on a trip, girl.
Okay, because like, let me put it this. Okay, so like, one, they have nothing to do with each other. You just took a jab because you're annoyed at something.
Yes.
Because she called you out on actual behavior that you have. Me speaking personally, I'm not Xing out someone on a vacation unless there's a track record.
Yeah.
If she feels that heavily about the fact that you be doing too much when you're drunk, that comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
And now, okay, yes, it said it was college time. You said she has a master's, a bachelor's? I don't know, something like that.
The girl who didn't want to go on the trip has a master's, so they're in their later 20s.
Okay, so it's not long ago, but enough time where, like, you know, maybe you've grown up a little bit, but there's no guarantee that you've stopped or slowed down just because you got your degree.
And the girl who's partying too much has a bachelor's and she works as a coordinator in an office. That other girl has a master's in electrical engineering.
I was just wondering when the drinking might have stopped, and they're like, if they're in like mid-20s or 21, so at most I'll give you like a little leeway depending on when you graduated. Also implying you graduated like quote unquote on time. There's no such thing as on time.
Okay, they don't.
You graduate when you graduate.
Okay.
So maybe they're holding on to things that's what like happened so long ago, and they need to like not necessarily like just get over it because that just sounds like dismissive, but reassess like your more current actions against
don't
like
judge them by who they used to be.
Right, exactly. We're all dumb in that fucking time. This prefrontal cortex and cortexing, who fucking knows, recession, all that shit was going on. So I wouldn't say judge that, or that person should be judging her friend on previous behaviors that were like multiple years ago. Now, that being said, if you're in these streets and you be acting a fool every Friday, Saturday, if last time y'all went to the Caribbean and you took your top off and got them kicked out of the fucking restaurant, there's probably a good reason she don't want to go on this trip with you. And similar to the last one, if I might be mistaking this, but it sounds like she also didn't want to tell you that at first, where it was just like, no, I'm good, sweet, have fun. You're like, why? Girl, fine, I'll tell you. You're a mess. You're a sloppy mess. And no matter what she did or didn't do to get where she was, getting a master's degree is not a cakewalk. Yes, there are some people who can literally just pay for it and just get past it and that's it. And I'm not going to say that doesn't exist. There's literally fucking lawsuits about that right now. But I'm going to say, unless you come from very, very, very rich parents, like I'm talking like obscenely wealthy parents that can actually do that, you still got to put some foot into that degree.
And she didn't get
a math degree at that point, like of some form of mathematical degree. Girl, I can't even do fucking tips without using my fingers, okay? I tell Siri, what's a 20% tip on this bill? So I'm not going to say your friend didn't do a lot of work to get where she is. Is it convenient and nice that the school was paid for? Absolutely.
Right.
Good for her. A lot of people wish they had that. I mean, it sucks that, school's not free or that you didn't come from a position where that could happen. A lot of people don't. It's kind of like, the cards are dealt kind of thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't really have control over that. That was her parents' decision to pay for her school, and they did it, and she got her fucking degree. She took advantage of it.
And she could have stopped.
Right. As if you wouldn't do the same fucking thing. Also, you also got your school paid for.
You didn't even pay for school.
So I'm confused. Anyway, so I think you're the asshole mainly because you sound annoyed that she was given a quote unquote better hand in life when honestly comparison is the robber of like joy, and that's something y'all really need to like settle in on, like the social media stuff and comparing yourself to your friend. My friend got a doctorate, and oh, my friend comes from rich family, or oh, my friend got the boyfriend, oh, she married, or blah, or he got the whatever. Stop comparing your life to people. Stop comparing your life to people.
It's not gonna
because it's probably going to annoy you because life's fucking unfair. There's people who are billionaires who should not be. And I'm sitting over here groveling for coin. Okay? Legal slavery. But yeah, and then as far as, like I said, just the other side of it, there's a potential that the friend's holding on to some stuff that happened in the past. And, maybe that's also perfectly fair. Maybe you did something so egregious when y'all were in college and she was like, absolutely never again. Like, we can get lunch. We can go play tennis. We can go watch a movie, but I'm not going on a trip with you. Because last time we went on a trip, we ended up in jail.
You can scar people for sure.
Truly. So, you're the asshole on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. You definitely are. I feel like you've been holding that privilege thing in your arsenal. And you've just been waiting to cock it back and pull the trigger. I do not feel like they correlate at all because she said she didn't want to go on the trip with you. And you really sound like a hater, honestly. Just because she knows how to do useless math, that useless math, and I quote out of your words, got her very well paid job.
Getting this paper. International traveling.
Is it that useless? Or can you just not do it? And you're hating because you cannot do it. Like, you just... If she came from privilege and you feel like she has parents that supported her, I get it. Sometimes we struggle and it's like, man, I wish that I didn't have to struggle the way. But you can be the victor or you can be the victim. Which one do you want to be? Like, if you're not happy with your situation, and I hate to really sound all like American dreamy right now, but honestly, if you're not happy with your situation, do something about it. Like,
pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, if you feel like she has a bad interpretation of you, like maybe this is not true, why not talk to her and figure out why she still thinks this of you? Because it's only two things happening. Either you're still this way and she's like, no, I'm not dealing with that, or you really did some messed up stuff in the past because you were that way and she just hasn't let it go. Like, that's the image she still has. To a certain degree, it doesn't really sound like she disdains you because y'all were at dinner together, so y'all still have some kind of relationship. Mm-hmm. If you really feel like this is a friend, especially a friend that you're willing to travel with, but I know you girlies like to travel in droves because you want to bring the price down and stuff because you'll travel with people you don't even like, which is crazy to me. But anyway, if y'all have that relationship where you're traveling together or whatever, y'all should be able to talk. You should be able to be like, hey, like, why do you feel this way about me? I don't really do that anymore. Like, I got a full-time job. I'm really chill. I know the last time we went out 4 years ago or 5 years ago, I was on a banana boat going crazy. Okay. I get it. You know, my bad.
I said I use racial epithets.
Right. My bad. But I'm learning. You know, we're in a new day and age. I'm learned. You know what I'm saying? Social media really has helped me out. But don't come for the girl because she didn't have a hand in who she was born to. You know what I mean? She doesn't have anything to do with the fact that her parents are well off and want to help her in her journey in life. That's not her fault.
Truly not. Because again, if the tables were turned, you would also be out here.
You would be like, no, Papa. No, Mama.
I'll do it myself.
I'll do it myself.
Okay.
Put me on the streets. I'll make a way.
I won't. Let me come from a rich family. I'm using all of my privilege.
Yeah, it just sound...
It would be a waste otherwise.
This girl, clearly she has aspirations and goals because you don't just go get your master's. I mean, some people live their lives for other people. But you don't just go get a master's in electrical engineering all willy-nilly.
Whatever the fuck she
Because you can just rely on your parents or you can just like be like, la, la, la in the world. The girl ain't Paris Hilton out here, obviously.
Okay. Probably just enough to get her through school. Anyway, so you need to chill out with that shit.
Yeah, girl, chill.
Anyway, my turn. Mm-hmm. Am I the asshole for telling my friend she can't sing and should consider a career change?
My goodness.
I, 25 female, and my friend, 19 female, have been close friends for a few years. She's been an inspiring singer for the past few years, but there's one big issue. She cannot sing. Like, truly, she cannot sing for the life of her. This is her words, not mine. She has all the resources for success. She's incredibly beautiful, has the money to afford great resources like a vocal coach and producers. The only thing she lacks is raw talent. Honestly, when she sings, it sounds like someone screeching their nails against a chalkboard. Despite my opinion, I have always been supportive, but not giving her a bigger head since she's already surrounded by a bunch of yes men who tell her she's one album away from a Grammy. I'm not here to crush her dreams. I tell her how much she has improved and how cool it is that she's following her dreams. But I also try to keep it honest with her as regards to where she is and where I believe she might end up going. She knows this, yet still asks for my opinion on different songs that are being released of hers. And honestly, I hate them all. At this point, I'm a bit fed up with my friend constantly trying to make me support her, even though I've made it very obvious that I do not support her dreams. Well, not so much that she doesn't support her dreams, but, you know, I get what she's saying.
Yeah.
How do I pull... where did it go? Sorry, I skipped it a little bit. There it is. Moving forward, she had to show this producer a showcase of her talents. I went with her to show support, even though I really didn't want to be there. After showing the video to the producer let her know that she really was a bad singer and it completely wrecked her. Wow. She yet again asked for my support and for reassurance, but I was honest with her and told her the producer was correct in his assessment of her abilities and that she should consider a career change. Am I the asshole?
No, because that's how you feel. And I'm going to say, like, if you were gentle in expressing that you didn't see it, that's the thing. Now, here's a caveat to that. Someone can have a dream that you don't understand or see, and maybe you don't even see the talent, but that's where it comes into play to be like, all right, where does my support have to lie in where I am as a friend to you? Am I somebody who is going to support you no matter what? Like, as long as you're not doing something, I guess, detrimental to yourself or harmful. But, I mean, we're also talking about a generation that has Pound Town out. So, like, you can really be out here singing and doing whatever, and you never know. I have seen people who without the reverb, if they strip everything off their voice, it's not great. It's actually pretty terrible. But they make it sound good for their voice, and you just never know who likes what music. If that's her real dream, and she really feel like that's where she want to go, you know how I feel about it. I would probably say maybe don't ask me my opinion, because clearly I'm not someone who believes in it. I don't know what that would do to the friendship, but I think you do need to be honest. In this scenario, it's a situation where this girl doesn't have any talent, you know, supposedly, as you say, and it's evident. People are telling her this. She's young. Maybe she needs to pivot. There are some scenarios where your dream will just not be understood by other people. I don't feel like this is one of those scenarios. I just feel
doesn't sound like it.
I just feel like she needs to consider an alternative career. So no, I don't think you're the a-hole. It's a tough situation to be in, to tell someone you don't think they have the talent to do something. I've kind of been in that situation. I didn't tell them necessarily that they didn't have the talent to do it. I just told them that it wasn't music for me. Mm-hmm. Which it wasn't. I was like, this isn't something that I would personally listen to.
Right.
So
I also feel like it's a very nice way, a very tactful way.
It's the truth. It was music that I just wasn't feeling. So, but best of luck to you, Miley Ray Cyrus, the 19-year-old out here trying to make it. You find that right producer and that right track, girl.
It's over, girl. Okay, Rebecca Black was out here with Friday. Like, what are we doing?
Okay.
A bop. I play that at least once a year.
And we had, listen, and I'm not even gonna call nobody out, because I was about to say some vocalist names, and you know what? Everybody getting whatever. But I was bopping my head to some people back in the day too, who, you know, live, they ain't giving.
Also, yeah, not the asshole on my side as well, for the same reasons, honestly. Like, you were honest. As someone who, I mean, quote unquote, is an artist, whatever. I often tell my friends, listen, if I'm complete shit at DJing, you need to tell me, because the last thing I need to do is be on someone's stage or whatever, looking like a fool with my pants on the ground.
And our mutual friend really does keep it real.
So I don't think you're an asshole for trying to be honest with your friend and maybe trying to save her from a little bit of an embarrassment.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, I agree with everything you're gonna say, so I'm not gonna rehash it. I will say, when them checks start coming in,
that's what I'm saying. Don't be
call
on the bandwagon.
Don't be on the bandwagon.
It can happen.
When she goes on her Renaissance tour, don't ask for VIP.
Don't call her. Don't be like, oh girl, I always knew you could.
Okay, I knew you could blow, girl. Okay,
I knew you could do it. You gotta,
you kept up. Okay, I see you got them vocal coaches. Don't. The number has changed. The inbox is full.
Okay.
Don't call my line.
Don't call my line, my mama line, my daddy line. Don't call nobody.
No lines. Okay. So yeah, you're not the asshole. I think it is pretty important to just be straight up with your friends, especially when things like this. Like, is it easy to tell them? No. Is it easy to hear? Also no. But I'd rather be surrounded with people who keep it real than like people like, oh yeah, you're doing great, and meanwhile people are tweeting like, this bitch is fucking
it's crazy.
Sucks.
But art is subjective, right? So it could literally be a situation where somebody's like, oh, I see the potential or whatever. Grammy, that's a bit extensive if you're saying this girl sounds like chalk screeching or whatever. But it could be a scenario where it just ain't your cup of tea, and that's fine, And you're not going on a smear campaign. You're just telling her to her face, which is nice. So, yeah, don't come, like you said, when the checks start rolling in.
Also, you're right. Art is subjective because there was definitely this DJ who played at EDC Las Vegas, which is like the biggest electronic festival in America.
Wow.
And no shade, no disrespect. This, in my ears, to me, trash, complete awful, just transitions non-existent, song selection not giving, none of it. But then people were going up, and meanwhile I was hating from outside the club. Not only was I not at EDC Las Vegas as an attendee because I couldn't afford it, I was also in my house watching the festival on my past due internet bill, and I'm just like, how can I hate from outside the club? I can't even get in.
I'm trying to get on that stage.
When she gets on stage, when her and Taylor Swift are doing B2Bs, don't call her line because she's not picking up. But yeah, so on to you, girl.
Don't call my line.
No more.
Okay. I guess this is my last one. Then you could do one more. I'm not going to do that one. That's actually kind of creepy. I'm going to do this one. Would I be the a-hole for telling my friend she's weird for making friends with her severe tinnitus? And tinnitus is like the ringing in the ear thing that you get. But some people have it all the time. But you can get it from listening to loud music and stuff. Unfortunately, I've suffered it. It's terrible. But my friend has severe tendinitis from a neurological condition she has. Oh, y'all need to spell check. She's had it for 15 years, and she's told me she used to hate it, and it used to make her feel depressed, but now she has made friends with it. She even calls it Richard. She tells me Richard has a lot of pet crickets he likes to make me listen to, but that it isn't the only sound that Richard, quote unquote, has. She says that once she became friends with him, quote unquote, it doesn't bother her. Sometimes she says she listens to her tinnitus, especially the cricket noise, to help her sleep. She also claims that her tinnitus monitors her health, that it becomes loudest when her blood pressure drops too low or if she's about to faint. She says she's never alone because she has Richard with her all the time. Would I be the a-hole for telling her that she's weird for this? This is the first time I've ever heard of someone becoming friends with their disability.
Yeah, I think you're kind of the asshole. One, it's not really your place to understand. Your ears aren't ringing consistently, non-fucking stop. Mm-hmm. I've experienced it from just going to festivals or being dumb and not wearing ear protection. And, we've all been there. We've all been to the one show we got a little too close to the speaker. We left the headphones at home. We were like, oh, okay, I'll just use some tissue or something, something to help out. One time I used my AirPods, actually. It actually
did it work?
It did, actually. It helped a good bit. Anyway, so I get that feeling, and that to have that all the time sounds awful. And listen, you got to do what you got to do to make it through. That is what it is. If it means making friends with it, if it means making it your begrudging roommate, if it means cussing at it, whatever you have to do to make that pain go down a little bit, I say go for it. I mean, she's not actively hurting someone. It's not like Richard's like, hey, you should go like stab your family or something, or like, hey, not like Richard's like, hey, let's go do shots and like take, you know, the golf cart on a drive or something. Like, it's sounds like just a way of this person coping with it. Did they say how old they were?
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna assume age then. If this is from a child's point of view, you know, children, they be coming up with names for everything. Honestly, NSFW moment. I gave my penis a name when I was a kid. Everyone, you name everything. Pet rock, pet dick, pet butt, you know, whatever. Your phone had a name. Your TV had a name. Everything had a name. So if this is a young child or someone in their teenager age for that matter, it's probably just their best way to know how to cope with it. That's not just like, I don't know, some form of like medication, or I don't even know if medication exists for this, honestly.
I don't know.
So, I mean, is it a little weird? I'm not even gonna say it's weird. Is it a little unusual and like something you wouldn't hear typically? Sure. But I'm not gonna say it's like weird. Like I said, as long as it's not hurting her and she's not hurting somebody else and it's like making her more comfortable. Girl, talk about Richard. If she'd be like, oh yeah, Richard's so funny, be like, haha, he sure is. Anyway, moving on. You don't have to be an asshole about it. You don't have to bring it up. I mean, if you want to be inquisitive about it and be like, hey, you know, I'm just kind of curious, like, where this came from and like, when did you start, you know, calling it Richard, or like, why do you call it that, and do you talk to someone about it, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, you can make it more inquisitory and kind of get more understanding. That might make you feel like a little less weird about it. But I mean, I've had situations where like I've had to do something silly to like numb the pain or like cope with it. For example, maybe like a heartbreak, for example. I'll be like talking to my brain and my heart and be like, you raggedy bitch, like, girl, pull yourself together, we're going to get some Waffle House, okay? Like, relax yourself, Jesus. So I mean, it's just, I don't think that's weird. I think it's just like something humans do, honestly. Like, especially, like I said, if this person's a young person, it's probably just the easiest way to cope with, hey, I hear ringing non-stop.
I'm gonna give it a name. Yeah, if they're young, I don't know. They didn't say their age. They just said that the person had been dealing with it for the last 15 years. So I'm assuming they may be older than 15.
Well, even so, you can be a grown person and still apply. It's like, you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's not, I've heard it very commonly happen where people give inanimate objects names. So people name their cars, all kinds of stuff. I can see how you would feel a little taken aback by hearing it, because especially if it's not anything you've ever experienced or whatever. I think it is a good idea, like you said, to become inquisitive and ask those questions, and maybe ask the questions just to make sure Richard's not giving her any ideas
kill
to
your
do
family, okay?
Anything. Like, make sure she's not talking to Richard and Richard is talking back. So,
I think Richard's talking back.
She said Richard's giving. Well, she did say that they said Richard makes her listen to cricket sounds. Maybe the crickets are the ringing noise.
Maybe your friend's possessed. Who knows? I mean, it would be rude of you to assume that it's something that have to do. You know, it would just be so rude of you to just assume things. Like, it's like to ask questions. Be like,
yeah,
hey, like,
ask. I would sit down. That's exactly what I would do. I'm
curious.
Down.
I want to know.
I want to know. Yeah, I was reading. I'm like, okay, what else is Richard saying, girl? That would be my first approach. I would just talk down. I would just sit them down, ask them some questions, talk to them. Yeah, so when did this happen? And you know, what's happened? You know, why did you do this? And what else is Richard saying? Do you ever talk to Richard? Richard talks back. What's happening with that? So just, you know, keep in mind to be gentle and come from a caring place. When you come from a place of love, you know, I'm not going to say it's always received that way, but oftentimes, even if in that moment it's not received that way, when people look back on it, they'll interpret it that way. So you may have to go through a little bit of fire in the moment just to get to the other side. But you got to be honest. You don't want to, like, be weird around them.
Right.
Like, oh, I don't want to, like, hang out with this person anymore because I don't know if Richard's going to be in the building. So,
okay, like, Richard going to get my ass. So, shit.
Best of luck to you, girl.
Good luck to you, girl. Okay.
You wanna end us off on a high note?
There's no high note. Am I the asshole for telling my friend it's her fault that her sister's paraplegic now?
just keeps getting worse and worse. Where did you find these? Because I did not see any of these.
You have to really dig in these. We're gonna make this quick because I definitely delivered some Amazon packages to the wrong address, so I need to go ahead and skedaddle here a few months. Anyway, so a 24-year-old man who he says, 24-year-old man, am autistic, and I don't really understand social cues that well. And what happened today got me thinking if I'm an asshole. My friend Jessica, 26 female, is a reckless driver. About 2 weeks ago, she got into a car accident with her sister. As a result, her sister became paraplegic. However, Jessica is stable and didn't suffer any consequences, as it typically does. Today, we were with a group of friends, including Jessica, talking about the regular checkup on cars and implementing safety measures to decrease the RTA. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Rate? I don't know. And the topic of Jessica's car accident popped up, and she said something like, it was meant to be, and she's really sad for her sister. And to be honest, I couldn't hold the urge to say that it wasn't meant to be. And if she regularly checked her tires on her, if she regularly checked the tires on her car, her sister would be completely fine and have full mobility of her legs. She started crying, and everyone called me an asshole for being mean. However, I don't think I did anything wrong. I was being truthful. That's exactly what happened. Due to Jessica's negligence on her vehicle, she wrecked and, paralyzed her sister. Am I the asshole for saying this? Please let me know.
I think given the circumstance of your autism and you expressing that you don't understand social cues, and clearly it wasn't malicious, no. I'm going to say no. I just really think, I don't know. There's so much about autism. They're all kind of the different spectrums and stuff. So I can't really speak to how their particular mind works. But I'm going to assume that in your mind, you were stating facts. Mm-hmm. What you thought were facts. And so, it's tough, especially because this person is dealing with some grief. I don't know if Jessica feels remorse or feels guilt or whatever. Maybe you didn't even sense that if they were exuding that. So I'm going to say no. It could be a learning lesson, maybe to just kind of, I have heard where even people who don't, autistic or not, some people who don't respond to emotion or have good social cues will just learn to adapt based off of past experiences. Mm-hmm. So if this experience happened, they would take that into the future of oh, maybe I shouldn't say this time because of the last time. Right. This is the reaction I got. So it could be a learning lesson for that. I'm going to just also say, Jessica girl, if you're known to be a reckless driver, you could have just got your tires rotated. Things happen, but forgive yourself, and hopefully your sister has forgiven you too.
I'll never forgive you. Anyway, it is what it is. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
It's tough because I just don't think that they don't. I don't even think they would have thought of this if other people hadn't said they were the AO. I don't even think that would have come to their mind.
Truly. So I'm going to say not the asshole as well. I've known many of people who are autistic. I have people with family members who are autistic. I've dated someone who was on the spectrum before. I get it. Sometimes they be saying things that are a little off the pocket. They're like, oh, wait, what did you say? Whoa, yeah. Wait a minute. So I get it. It is off-putting. It can blow you back because you didn't expect it.
Ooh, talk
but
about it.
Never in any of those situations did I ever feel like it was malicious or they did it because they were trying to be mean or rude or anything like that to make you feel bad. It's just they process social cues different and things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, should he have said it? I mean, from a societal point of view, no. I mean, probably shouldn't have been like, hey, girl, you fucked up your sister's life because you're, a reckless bitch.
But there does need to be attention brought to the fact that if you are driving recklessly, you need to take that into account in the future. And this needs to be said because you need to understand that you played a role in this happening.
Now, that being said, I'm going to give you a 0.5 asshole. Not because you are an asshole, but holistically speaking, and this applies to anyone with any kind of mental anything, maybe on a spectrum, maybe even mental illness like anxiety, depression, whatever. You can only ride that way for so far. I'm not saying, and I'm trying to say this tactfully because I don't understand what it's like to be autistic. I'm not personally, so I don't think I am. Maybe I am. Who knows? I never really got tested for it. But even though you didn't mean for it to be offensive, doesn't mean it wasn't offensive.
Exactly.
May you be autistic or not. What you said was still kind of rude.
It's a tough, and it seemed like it's close to the situation just now happened, like it's still fresh,
right?
And I always say intention doesn't absolve you from responsibility,
right?
Like,
yes, you didn't mean to say it, or you meant to say it, but you didn't mean to upset anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away the fact that you upset somebody.
Okay.
Same thing, like I said, if you have other mental illness, people say things when they're upset, when they're anxious, or when they're mad, or when they're depressed. Yes, you're depressed, or yes, you're angry, and I get where you're coming from, and that sucks. But at the same time, you also told me you wish I would die in traffic. So I get why you're sad, but you still said something kind of mean.
Okay, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Do you hear me? So I'm gonna give you a 0.5.
That's
asshole.
Fair.
Again, it's not like an intentional one. I don't think you meant to be an asshole, but doesn't dissolve it from the fact that you just rubbed it in your friend's face that she pretty much ruined her sister's life to an extent. So I get why she started crying. I can get why people started calling you an asshole. I would say, and if you're not listening to this, of course, but just try to give a little apology. Like, hey, I didn't really think about it. I didn't mean to. It'd be getting that spectrum thing be getting me sometimes. Like, I know it's not excusable, and just take responsibility for it. But I think, just
do better next time. Learn
from
this.
Try
to do better.
I know it's hard. I'm sure it's very difficult.
That was crazy.
But yeah, that's gonna wrap us up. Again, I keep forgetting to delete my old address off of Amazon, so I've delivered a bunch of stuff there and Renaissance stuff. So I have to go.
Okay, get do your thing. We are, you know where to find us. All of our socials are gonna be found in the description box below. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Bye.